everyone, this is Kreindis. First and foremost, thank you very much for taking the time to check out my channel. If you feel so inclined, feel free to check out my very first episode of my Let's Play that I recently made. And that's what I wanted to bring up. So, going forward, I will be working on quality and making the experience just a general better experience in two ways. Hopefully immersion, but graphical quality as well. Or video production, I guess is a better way to put it. Video production and graphical, that's on my part. I will be thinking of ways to just make the presentation better in general. If anyone has any suggestions about that, I will definitely take them into consideration. But as for immersion, that's where I enjoy starting off with XCOM 2 especially. XCOM 2 is essentially a very nice game to tell your own story. Soldiers, for the most part, are completely driven by the player, not only as in we're controlling them, but as far as our actual emotional investment gets in them. Currently, I have a character pool of 30 characters. These characters are pulled from my favorite games, games that I like, characters that I think are funny. Some are people that I know in real life, people that I look up to. A few are streamers that I watched and took something positive away from. In general, it's a whole menagerie. It's a whole menagerie of people and sometimes things. But and that's great for me personally. So my personal investment is covered. But what I want to address is other people's personal investment. XCOM 2 is a chance for the viewer to be invested as well. So if you want to join our crusade against the aliens, the first thing you would need to do, as far as creating a soldier, that's fairly easy. The first way to do it would require having the game itself, and I have a Dropbox file that I recently made. What you do, essentially, is you make your character in the game itself, you export it to an individual file, an individual list. So it's basically a list of one character. Then you export that list, find the file, wherever it saves. I think it's in documents in XCOM. It might not be. I don't know. Don't take my word for that. But it saves somewhere. Take that file and upload it to my Dropbox file, of which I'll have a link below in the description. And I'll be able to access that, download your character, get them in the game immediately, get them in my character pool, and we'll see if they show up. The second way to do it is through descriptions. And by that, I mean find somewhere that I could see. So places that I visit very frequently would be my comments. I get a notification on every comment, so I definitely will know when you comment. Or Twitter. Twitter is another place that I look at a lot. I would recommend using direct message on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Kreindis, Kreindis. Because just sending me a tweet, unless you just want a character with literally the bare minimum of customization, just a normal tweet with, 150 characters, 160. I don't even remember off the top of my head, and I use Twitter frequently. That's kind of sad, but that's not sufficient, is what I'm getting at. Now, in this description, you want things that'll allow me to basically make a recreation of what your vision is. 100%, I should give myself more like 80%, because I think differently than other people. Everyone thinks differently than someone else, rather. But things that you should include in this description are just things that if you're describing a character to someone over the phone, basically, that would probably be more than enough. So gender, name is essential. You definitely want your name in there, or the character's name. It doesn't have to be you. You don't have to make yourself, of course. You could make, I don't know, let's say you really like someone in a book named Vasily Zaitsev. You could definitely have Vasily Zaitsev as a character. That you would need are name, just general character features, like does he have like a grumpy face? Does he have a not grumpy face? Does he have a wide face? XCOM does not have character sliders, facial sliders, so it doesn't really need to be that in depth because at the end of the day, I can't really do anything with a more in depth facial structure description. So just sticking to bare bones is, descriptors are good. So gender, name, face, kind of. Do they like armor? Um, Off the top, tattoos. We could do tattoos too. Do they have any facial scarrings? Do they have any facial hair? What color is their hair? What color are their eyes? What kind of hairstyle do they have? Just, just generic descriptors like that. On this video, um, I'll have a decent video recording of what kind of options there are. But like I said, it is limited, but it's robust enough that you should be able to get 80% of what you have in mind. And maybe that's a bit generous too. But I also think 80% is a good estimate. In any case, if you would like to join my XCOM campaign, please feel free. Yeah, I would certainly love having your guys' creations in my playthrough. So, if you feel so inclined, join me, won't you?